registrars, mentor to many. So, Dr. Omojola Awosusi to address this audience. Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning. Let's have a seat. I with Dr. Ogunde. Is it Ogunde or Ogunde? Ogunde. Okay, are you from Ogun State? Okay, Dr. Ogunde, I would have loved if it is possible for him to continue for about 3-4 hours so that we can get examples and do some workshop and all that. But we may not have all of the time. I think you will take advantage to take his number so that when you go back to Toru Orua or you go back to Anchor University or wherever, if you can easily talk to him. Me, I will be talking to him too because there are a number of things he mentioned that I was hearing for the first time. Yesterday, Mrs. Fadu told you I'm a mentor. But she said something here that I was hearing for the first time, Minute King, which I captured yesterday. So nobody knows everything. So we should continue to learn so that we will not be dead. So the man who has stopped learning is a dead man. In Yoruba land, when a man doesn't stop learning, when a Yoruba man dies and is being buried, they continue to teach him. They say, they will be teaching him what he has to. They have to educate him. He needs some education even at that point. So now that you are still alive, you need education. Tell somebody you need education. I've been educated so much now that when I live this way now, I see myself getting better than I used to. I don't celebrate effort, I celebrate success. Don't come and tell me that when you were doing it, NEPA took light, or your vehicle broke down on the way, or something happened, or because there was a strike, you couldn't write the minutes. But if I don't blame you, then that means you have done well. So the way to know that I'm thanking is when I have no complaint at all. But I won't thank you because as you are finishing one, I'm giving you another. There's a man called Pareto. He said 20% of the people do 80% of the work. Some of you were selected to come here. You never knew how the registrar selected you. There was something they saw in you. It's either that you were so poor that he wants you to be proof, or that you are one of the best that he wants you to, that if you know a little more, his work will be easier. Are you listening to me now? Maybe I want to believe that he wants you to be one of the 20% of the group that will move your university forward. And the registrar here was one of my 20% group. When he worked with me, he sat with me 5 years as he was he was to be called personal assistant. But I told you I don't need personal assistant. I need somebody who's going to be head of the registrar's office. Before me, somebody who just be personal assistant will be following you. I said, I don't need that kind of thing. They gave me a man. They called him security aide. I told this man, don't open the door of the car for me because I have my hand. Don't follow me anywhere. Anywhere I can't get to in this university and they will beat me up, then that may have done something wrong. Don't follow me anywhere. So just when we get to office, stay there. Whatever you can help them to do and benefit yourself, go and register for a degree course. So nobody say, I will be here for 10 years. You say the only thing you have achieved is foreign registrar. That would be terrible for you. So after 5 years, it was as if maybe he thought that we quarreled. I said, you will leave this office. You have served me for 5 years and we have done so well, but I'm moving you out to a registrar office. He told me, what have I done? I said, I have not done anything, but I don't want to eat your life with my own life. You understand? In Yoruba, I say, so nobody thought of him coming to become registrar of Redeemers University. I knew that if he has to serve me for 10 years, the day he wants to attend interview in Redeemers University, they will check the CV, say 10 years registrar office. It will look like some people will think that is zero. What do they do there? Since there is a registrar, what were you doing? But what happened? If you now, out of 10 years, if you are working exams and record in student affairs, it will be counted. If it's 5 marks, you will have better marks. So I'm not somebody who will use up another person's life because I want to improve. I pick up another person again, and that person is now deputy registrar, and he will be obtaining PhD any moment from now. Don't plant a tree because you want to sit under the tree. You plant a tree so that other people can sit under it. So I'm happy that he has done very well. And this workshop is a landmark in Nigeria university system. I've never seen it happen like this before. When the workshop will be going on, we have seen it abroad. We've been to AUA. Everywhere I went, I took him. Whether America, whether South Africa, we were going together. I knew one day he would be on his own. And today he's on his own. I hope you have enjoyed this workshop. Now, I'm no longer around him to say, do this, do this. If I had been clapping for him, I said, you are doing well, you are doing well, he would probably not have been able to do well. He said? Oh, he didn't tell you that you... no. That's, maybe we'll tell you that later. Any meeting I attended, he must have attended. You understand? Anything that I've tasted, he must have tasted. But because a time is coming that you don't be alone, and that was the way my father taught me. When I was small, when my father was traveling, he would take me along. In those days, when you are inside the car, I see trees moving. I tell my father, why are these trees moving? In those days, you enter car sparingly. I ask my father, the trees, my father says, because you are young, trees don't move. It is because very soon you will see that. Now, when I'm inside a car, I don't see trees moving again. How many of you, when you were young, you were inside a vehicle and it appears no, it is you that is moving. The trees are not moving. Now, what is this? You can see, is this in, this is an apple. Do you like this apple? This apple, do you like it? Well, that is the registry system today in Nigerian university. It used to be a very beautiful apple. And if I even say this is the Nigerian university system today, the apple is there, but it has been beaten. I don't know who is biting it or what is biting it. And those are the things I want to share with you within the next 1 hour or so. There are 5 types of administrators. I don't know whether Mr. Oguru could tell you or Bala Adebada. 5 types of administrators: policy administrator, academic administrators. Academics in administration. Dr. Ogunde is an academic in administration. He's also a professional in administration. He's an IT man brought to the university to manage things and to be chairman of committees, a professional. If he's translated from here to Chevron, he will not be doing university because the professionalism will still be there. But here now, the university is using him as an administrator, but he's not a career administrator. You sit here, you are a career administrator. The reason why you were employed is to facilitate what we do in the university. Administration is making things work. Before you came this morning, somebody cleaned this place. Somebody brought the projector. Somebody brought the PA system. Somebody opened the doors. Somebody made sure that we are called together. Somebody invited you. Somebody told you who is going to speak. What time are we going to spend? That is my definition of university administration. Baraibu Musa was impeached in 1982 or thereabout. Just before his impeachment, he was governor of the Denka. He said, we are today living in times of great changes. The whole order is crumbling fast. New systems of things and activities are emerging. It is our responsibility to understand these changes and utilize them for human progress. You have been told the changes in the technology by our Dr. Ogunde. Things are changing. But you know, in 1982, I was a student about to graduate at the then University of Ife. There was only one computer in that university, and it was inside a big house. When they say we are going to computer center, people will queue outside. It was like an Osonyi. If you know what Osonyi is, inside that building. Many of you are millennials. You don't know what I graduated in 1984. That was Ife. You know, Ife is one of the best universities in the world, but it had only one computer. I never saw that computer because we would stay outside. I only went there during student union election. They said that is why they will be counting the student union election. And it took 2 days to finish the computer to finish what you will now do in 5 minutes. But today, things have changed. What are the emerging issues? I want to discuss the emerging issues in university administration. I will look at the global issues, then I will come to local issues. Can we continue? Global issues. What are the global issues? Am I the one moving this thing or somebody is helping me to move? Now, a man called David Parfreeman in 2015 identified 9 features. How many features? 9 features of the emerging university system. One of them is massification, which Dr. Ogunde spoke about. Massification. My matriculation number in University of Ife was 800305 because I entered the university in 1980. 305 means I was number 305. All the people who entered the university that year, we were like maybe 505 or something. But I was number 305. Today, University of Ilorin will admit about 12,000 students in a year. And the University of Lagos, University of Ibadan, you can imagine the volume of people that are coming. And all private universities are having students. Yet, majority of those who enter for the exam, they are still outside of the block. This year, 1.8 million people have written JAMB, and we don't know how many people will enter the university. There is massification. Why do we have massification? It's because you people are getting married every day. It's because there is wedding every day. And when somebody weds, after a year or two, if there is no child, they begin to ask questions, waiting happen. So if you keep on giving birth to children, then population will increase. And after about 15, 16 years that a child is born, he has to enter university. And that's why we have massification. It's an international thing. Managerialism is a concept, it's an emerging concept. That people will not look at university, is it just a college or a business environment? Business environment, marketization. So, is an organization that sells products and sells services? So, if you have a product that you are selling, you need to market the product. In 10, 20 years' time, it is likely that private university in Nigeria will overtake the public university. You know why? Because public university now, they don't advertise. They don't say, send your children to us. They believe that whether we advertise, people will come. They don't tell you how good their university is. They believe that naturally people will come. But it may not be like that in 25 years' time. Because it is a market. Commercialization. Not before 1999 or so, there was no single private university in Nigeria. Now, there was deregulation and commercialization. There is competition now. There was no ranking system when I was in the undergraduate. The ranking system in the world, there was no way if Ibadan or ABU would not have been among the best 200 universities if ranking was done in 1982 that I was talking about. But today there is competition. There is corporatism. For anybody to be vice chancellor now, somebody asked a question that how do we sensitize upper management, the man from Toru, how do we sensitize? It is the personality of who the vice chancellor is. If the vice chancellor does not buy into ICT, then nothing is going to happen. That university will not have money to run. That university will not do things fast. That university will remain where it is. So at the point of bringing in somebody as register of vice chancellor, you need to be sure that this one is ICT person. If it's not going to drive anything. These are the 9 features. But somebody has a different idea. McAfee, he said that there are 5 drivers of change in university administration today in the world. One is globalization, the knowledge society, social change, the role of the state, and academic specialization and postmodern challenge. Today, NUC will not allow us to. I was sharing with Niadi Dauda from Anchor University this morning. I asked him that, do you do Christian religious studies in Anchor? That deeper life or redeems, we should be able to flow such courses. They said they have it, but students are not coming. And I said, why don't you say it's religion and development studies? If you say religions and development studies, there is nothing you want to say about development, about peace, about security that the Bible does not cover. So if you create a program like that, say, cattle headmen, fighting, terrorism, everything is taken care of in the Bible. If you read Exodus, say, if your cow comes to my farm, I eat my maize, that is a way to decide the case. The Bible is clear that you are going to pay compensation. If your cow kills my goat, then you give me 2 goats. So everything, there is nothing for us to fight about. It was, God knew that some of these problems. So if you have a program, but if you say you want to do that now, NUC will tell you that there is no BMAS for it. They will say that it is not in their books, you can't do it. That is the problem. But all over the world, I was in University of Derby, I think 2006. I did a study of University of Coventry, Derby, Loughborough, Leicester, 5 universities. I found out that they were doing anything they like. They can say BSc fashion designing, BSc photography, BSc whatever. You understand? Why can't we have BSc amnesty or BSc arresting of militants, something like that? If we have this problem, we should have a program that can solve the problem. Do you know that there is no university in Nigeria that is teaching higher education management? Higher education, this thing we are doing, we have registrar and everything. There is no place you can go and say, I want to learn how to be a registrar. There is no such courses. You have educational management. You have what again? Personnel management. But those ones are not higher education management. Those who came before us, they went abroad. Femi Ekperokun was registered at University of Lagos 1980 to 86. Went to University of Columbia to do MA Higher Education Management. The second registrar of my own university also went to University of London to take certificate in higher education. In Nigeria, it doesn't exist at all. You expect people to perform, but there is no way to train them. And that's the advantage of coming to a workshop like this. How I wish this can be translated into a course, say Redeemers University, BSc, higher education. Can't we do that? Are there not things we can learn? Maybe it is 1 year, it could be postgraduate diploma program or whatever. So in abroad, universities are allowed to look at the problems in the environment. They create programs, and this program. Now they started tourism, they started all manners of things. All this Nollywood, is there any BSc film making in Nigeria? I'm asking you, all of you are watching home video. Don't you think there's a course that where we can, this is the way you do it, this is the way you can produce? Performing arts is different. Performing arts is dancing on the stage. Film acting. Performing and film acting. Okay. When you are watching a film, is it film acting alone that is involved? Cinematography is involved. The camera is involved. Editing is involved. Costume is involved. Makeup is involved. Makeover is involved. You can turn a beautiful man to you can turn an ugly woman to a beautiful woman by doing some things, and people will see. A beautiful person can be turned to an ugly person. A 70-year-old person can be made to look like a 75-year-old. No, why don't we teach all of that? Yet we pay money. Nigerian films are more popular in South Africa, East Africa than here. I was in Uganda 2008. When I got there, this one will say, do you know Genevieve? Ramsey Noah. They were asking me something Elliot. At that time, I wasn't very familiar. I would say, I don't know. And I said, how come you don't know? We know them. They told me in Kampala that we know them. They are very good. They even told me they have a calendar of the time Genevieve will come to Kampala. I asked them, what of Olusegun Obasanjo? They said, Olusegun Obasanjo. They were not very sure that they have gotten that name before. So why don't we concentrate on people who are known across our boundary, and we train people to do what they are doing, even managing them. No, our people are watching Manchester United, all the young people now. Do we have any BSc? Some of these people watching viewing center, all of them, if they have something, all of them will rush there. You know that there's so much money in football. Apart from those who are playing, there are people, agents, journalists, physiotherapy, medical doctors, all of them are involved in football. Technical director, coach, this, that, many all manners of profession. But we don't have the opportunity to do what? And we say that our university don't have money. It's because the government regulations don't give us the opportunity to really do the things that can bring money into the system. Ernst & Young is an international consultant firm. They did a study on Australia University in 2005. And what were their findings? They found out that there are 5 mega trends now. When you look at university globally, there are 5 trends. One of them is, I want to be sure you are following me, one of them is what? What is it? Digital technologies. The other one is democratization of knowledge and access. The third feature is marketization and funding. The number 4 is what? Global mobility. And the 5th one is integration with industry. These are the 5 trends that they found. These are the things that were driving and we continue to drive Australia University. And these are relevant to Europe and they are also relevant to North America. And they have significant implication on African universities. Now, digital technology, you have asked so much from the ICT expert, in that there is no way I can even impersonate an ICT expert, even if I want to do. I can't even be a successful quack. But I have tried to improve myself over the time. Do you know how I did it? And this is the thing you should do. When I was in NYC in 1984, in College of Education, Faru, Sokoto State, I went to register with people who are learning typing. Because I had a lot of idle time, I joined them. They didn't know I was a copper. I signed like an apprentice. I was going there. I wanted to know the secret of how to type. You know the days of so I learned that. I had KJ, how to put your fingers. If you learn that, to put your fingers on the computer is the same thing. So if you are typing your computer with one finger, now you will be slower than me typing. So that one gave me an advantage when the laptop came. And I bought a laptop. But these people, they were faster than me. So people were following me. They learned it faster because I was already, but I forced myself to learn it. Now, you have asked so much, but in what way? In what way is it driving university today? Digital technology is taking university. We can take the university to technology. We can also bring technology into teaching and learning. How do you take the university to technology? There are some educational resources by which you can use to take your product to the world. How many of you have heard of MOOCs before? Massive open online courses. So universities now in the world, they don't need you to come to their campus. There's a particular university in India or China that they have over 100,000 students doing a particular course, and none of them is resident. So all over the world, they can register for a particular course in University of Port Harcourt using this method. But you need to invest every day in ICT before ICT International, you can do it. You can have open educational resources. That means you are taking your university. You can have an introduction to safety management, Redeemers University. You put it there. Anybody all over the world can read. But it will look as if you are not making money because they don't pay, it's open. But like a doctor said, each time they click, something will tell us that they have clicked on the website of Redeemers University. The traffic will record against the name of your university. E-learning, M-learning, and all of that. Bringing technology into teaching and learning. So these are the things that so lecturers can use it. You can do assignment, you can send assignment, you can use it to manipulate student results, to manage student results, use it for financial accounting. That is bringing technology for the purpose of supporting teaching and learning. And you see now virtual library. And in Nigeria, we have tinkered and we have tried to edit on ODL, open and distance learning. Bringing technology to teaching, social media, Facebook, Twitter, TeacherTube, Moodle, and things like that will bring that technology, will assist, will use them to assist what we do in the system. Collaborative learning, computer-supported collaborative learning, synonymous terms, e-learning, network, collaborative learning, all of these are things that can help us to follow what is happening in the world. I was in a program of Association of Commonwealth University in 2015. These two guys there were our facilitators. And they taught us that e-learning has gone through, your university can be in any of these 5 levels. If your university, if what you still do now is that you do face-to-face classroom learning without the aid of technology, you are at the 0 level. Your university is at what? 0 level. If in your university you do face-to-face classroom-based learning, supported by use of technology, what do? You are level 1. So I think Redeemer's University is using level 1. Now, if at level 2, face-to-face classroom-based supported by online learning, if Redeemer University has gotten there, that means you have gotten to level 2. But the world has gone beyond level 2. Level 3, if you are doing online learning supported by classroom-based learning, basically it's online learning. But you support it by classroom. You now say occasionally you bring the students together. Level 3. Level 4, online learning with no face-to-face interaction at all. And that is the ultimate. Today, now in Nigeria, we are losing money because many Nigerians now, they are taking MSc, PhD across the world, paying hand and pound sterling to University of Manchester, to all these universities, to Rehampton, to Wolverhampton, and all of that, by just staying in Lagos, staying in a position maybe in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, or in Ede, where you have access to internet, you register for your PhD, you do the PhD, a supervisor will supervise you without seeing the person face to face. Students will be in a class like this, the supervisor will teach you, you will ask questions, he will reply you, and you will do project, they will everything. Instead of going to any of these our first generation university where you are doing your PhD for 9 years, and you go there, you can be there for 5 days, you won't see anybody. The supervisor is not available. People now there are now windows of opportunity. You can do split PhD. You can do 1 year in the Redeemer's University, and you do the second half online with somebody who is a co-supervisor in India. All of these are possible. These are e-learning platforms, e-learning levels. Majority of our universities are still at the 0 level. And there is no way we can be competitive. And those of us who are supporting academic learning and teaching, who are administrators, unless we move up, if we remain at the 0 level, we will not be, nobody will find us useful. Democratization of knowledge and access, ubiquitous content, broadening of, there is nothing you want to learn. Yesterday, after we read this place, they were showing something on the television, how somebody was in a kitchen, how to make a biripo. I was hearing that for the first time. They said it's a Yoruba meal from Ogun State. And I was saying, I didn't know, I have not eaten it before. So the registrar here just went to Google, and what is a biripo? Somebody analyzed it. The process of doing it, the different varieties, what we need to, with egusi Ijebu, with atadidi and all of that. That is what? That is content. Knowledge is now ubiquitous. Ubiquitous is everywhere. You can get it. The broadening of access to higher education, increased participation in the budget market. In Nigeria, we've made effort in the last 20 years or so. We have deregulated education such that anyone who wants to start a university can, under certain regulation. It's now liberalized. The first time Rivers State wanted to start a state university around 1967, federal government hammered them and closed the university immediately, that you can't do it. But today, I'm not sure whether you have heard that Rocha Okorocha established 4 universities the same day. He talked about it, and he wants to leave in 2 weeks' time. So I don't know how it will be, but whether you like it or not, the 4 universities are now licensed. It is that easy. So any of you here can also start a university if you so desire. And I will continue to join you in prayers. So what we are saying is that there is enlarged access. But this enlarged access in Nigeria, enlarged access to university education, some colleges of education have been upgraded. They have been given powers to award degrees. Polytechnic also. Now, so Polytechnic now have also been given power. I don't know whether that is functional yet. Now, we now proliferate federal university. There is a federal university now in every state of the federation. There's encouragement of online and distance learning and the virtual library. These are the ways to democratize. Democratize means anybody should have access to it. But we are still not there. Because all that, everywhere you go now, you see area boys, area girls. Most of the time, there are people who have never gone to university and they are looking forward to getting there. The space is getting difficult. I will talk about JAMB admission later, but let me just make this point. The question. If somebody has just finished secondary school, when you want to test him, what should you test him on? It should be based on the syllabus of secondary school. It should be based on what he has been taught. But you can see JAMB question is always higher than secondary school level. I think that is injustice. That means you want to ask me questions on something I've never been taught, so that you want to determine whether I'm good or bad. So suppose I've not gone a little higher. That means for most of the time, I'm disadvantaged. That means I can only solve problems within what I've learned. Now, suppose I solve those one and I just got 201 because I was able to solve the problems within the range of my knowledge. Now, I now get to university, you now say cutoff is 281. For me to score 281, I must have been able to solve beyond second. I don't know whether you follow my argument. So the injustice there is that you want me to do A-level questions when I've told you that I've just finished in secondary school, and you want me to start in 100 level, which is the place I should start, but you are giving me a question that is above my knowledge. I don't think it's fair. Now, if we look at this, these are the years and the percentage of those who gain admission. It has never been more than 33.3%. And I don't know, except last year, I don't know whether, I don't think it has ever reached 60% of those who wrote the exam. And there is no uniformity in admission requirement. Admission criteria is different from admission requirement. Marketization, I think I've spoken about this, and funding. Funding is the greatest problem of Nigerian university. All the things Dr. Ogunde told you about, intranet, internet, and all that, it takes a lot of money to get it done. And if it is not done, our university will always be will be outside the radar. So many universities are not ranked, they are not graded because they have no visibility on the web. And some websites are not interactive. If you go to a website of some university, what you see there in January, if you get back in May, that's the same information you see there. They may just show you their last convocation, which took place 8 months ago. That's the information, because it is not interactive. But don't you think they will need the right type of personnel? They need the right type of human resources, and they need the right type of architecture. Some universities also, they are not the owners. They don't have ownership of the ICT system they are managing. They just get some few boys from Lagos, abracadabra, they just say you just pay some millions and all of that. They say we are going to be helping you to manage it. At the end of the day, when discussion breaks down between you and that, your system also goes down. So unless you grow it from the inside, you cannot say you own it. Let's look at the percentage of education as share of total federal expenditure. It has never been enough. Nigeria has never gotten to a place where we say education will take so much. Take so much. we want to, now that we even have security problem, the situation has worsened. So we don't ever have enough to fund education. I think I've made enough point. I don't want to belabor the issue of funding. Global mobility of students and staff. All over the world, there's mobility. There's migration and emigration. International education refers to the process by which your university must sell your product to people outside your shores. Either you bring them into your campus as in-house students, which was what used to happen when I was in the university. So people were from Zimbabwe, from Angola. If you go to Ife, you see Angola all. You have Mozambique all. They didn't just get there. There was a time in history that people came from Angola and they were living there. In fact, they were actually built for foreigners. South Africans were coming, and they were even being they were even under Nigerian scholarship. Lecturers, one of our lecturers in Ife was Mutambuka. He was somebody from Rwanda, one of the best economics teachers in those days. So we had lecturers. In philosophy, we have people from Cameroon, from Uganda, from all over. It's no longer like that. So if your university will be internationalized, there must be foreign lecturers. There must be foreign students. But you can also be internationalize by putting your program, sell it out so that they can buy. They stay in their country, they use online, they are still your students. Are you following me? But the most worrisome aspect is that people also move physically from one country to another. They migrate. I'm sure you are aware that many Nigerians go to the Republic of Benin to take university degrees. How many of you are aware? So they have to cross to Republic of Benin, where they speak French, which they don't speak themselves. So they will pass across NASU, University of Lagos, University of Ibadan. They go to Republic of Benin. That's cross-border education. They are crossing boundaries. For people who have money, they go beyond. They go to Ghana. What are they looking for? Stability of academic calendar. Those who have much money, they go to UK, America. People now go to Malaysia, they go to Singapore, and we say we don't have money in Nigeria, but this money is spent far away outside here. It is good because it allows for cross-fertilization ideas. If they can go and come back to our university system, we can marry what they have learned with what we already know to have a more robust. But I don't think that is the objective. Nigerian study destinations are usually UK, Canada, USA, Malaysia, South Africa, and Ghana. Top 5 overseas study destinations, you find out in 2010, 16,000 Nigerians were in UK, 6,500 were studying in USA, 5,400 in Malaysia, 1,006 in Ghana, 1,003 in Canada. Total was 38,851. If we multiply this by just simple 15,000 pounds sterling, that will tell you how much money these ones have to pay from Nigeria economy to UK. 2009, you can see the figures like that. Some people also go to Germany. Now we have South Africa and all of that. This is what we call global mobility. There's nothing wrong. Number of Nigerian students in the United States. This is the analysis that I have. But the most interesting thing, do you think we have Americans coming to Nigerians like that? Canadians, do they come like that? Ghanaians, do they come like that? That is the worrisome aspect. If it is you come, we also come to you. But now, we are rushing our money, and we always complain that there's no money in integration with industry. This is the area of major problem in Nigeria. The industry is not showing sufficient interest. They are complaining that the students we produce, they don't have a priority. Yet, they are not investing in the university system. Wider scope and greater day of industry-based learning, that is the experience Ernst & Young had in Australia. There is a wider scope now and greater depth. When I was registered, we sponsored some people abroad. we sent a particular young man, Seyi Oke, to University of Nottingham, UK, to do PhD in civil engineering. He was working on scarification. This thing that they remove from road when they are repairing road, that it can be reprocessed to get additional material that can be used again for road construction. They told us that it cannot resume in a particular year because they want to buy an equipment, and that equipment will cost £100,000. I was wondering, you want to buy an equipment £100,000, how much are we going to pay? How much is the total school fees? They said they have industry, a particular company was to buy it for the university. So they asked him to wait. He had to wait for about 7 months. When they got the equipment, they wrote us. How many companies in Nigeria is actually supporting university like that? NNPC is not supporting Nigeria. It's not supporting university. They give awards, scholarship, and all of that, but beyond that, so they need to invest in university and bring equipment for people to do research and to improve on what we do. That is the way to go. And that the big game will be co-investment with the private sector. There should be investment between the private sector and the university system if we are going to move forward. Large educational system. A report of Going Global 2015, British Council brought out a report which discovered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 nations that are considered large educational system. What do I call them? Large educational system. This is that 25% of young people that are enrolled in university all over the world, they are registered in these 9 countries. And Nigeria is one of the 9 countries. What are the other countries? Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, Nigeria, Pakistan, Russia, UK, and the US. If you are looking for one quarter, if you bring together all those who are schooling in universities in the world, they are in these 9 nations. Let's look at this. Nigeria has the largest number of universities in Africa. I'm sure you know that we are getting close to 200 million now. We are getting close to 200 million. Nigeria population, if you put the population of every other nation in West Africa together, they will still be competing with Nigeria. So that is why there must not be war in Nigeria, because we have no place to go. By the time 10% of Nigeria move to Republic, they won't know themselves again. They won't know that whether they will be confused. If we move to Cameroon, we will overrun them within, because it will be a problem. The only thing is that when they ask for your father's house, you might not be able to point to a particular one. You know, we look alike. And the danger, the danger in it is that we don't speak French. They will easily identify Nigerian. If Republic of Benin, if there is something, if they come to Nigeria, they will not have problem. They speak English. If Cameroon, they enter Calabar, enter Unsuka, they go to school free. Why? They speak English. It is a policy in Cameroon that you must learn the 2 in secondary school. In Republic of Benin, it's compulsory you learn English and French, because you have to go to Lagos to buy things. When they enter Lagos, you are a Nigerian. If a Nigerian crosses the border to the Republic, immediately because you won't understand French. That is a different matter. We have 170 universities in Nigeria. The closest to us is Egypt with 65, South Africa with 52, Kenya 48, and Zimbabwe has only 16. So we have a large system. But our access is still, compared with the people who want to go to university, we still don't have enough. We don't need more university anyway. What we need to strengthen the existing university so that we increase their capability and capacity to bring in more students. Students enrollment in Africa, Nigeria is in excess of 1 million. South Africa is the nearest to us with 900,000. In Tanzania, there are only 52,000 students in all their university. Are you listening to me? I met somebody in 2007, maybe University of York, who was doing a PhD or master's degree. And I said, are you financing yourself from Tanzania? He said, government. He told me that if anybody from Tanzania comes to UK to school, it's being sponsored by government. That no, it's not in their culture that your parents will have to sponsor you. If a Kenya, Obama's father went to the US, sponsored by the government. It is only here in Nigeria that, so in East Africa, the standard is that, because there are very few, 10, 12, 15, and when they go, they come back to develop the country. Are you following me? Are you still following me? What are the issues we have looked at? What are the issues? The mega issues that are international issues. What are the issues? Globalization, massification, commercialization, democratization. I just wanted to be sure you are following me. Now let's now go to local issues. Local issues. I want to start with the history of restructuring of the registry. Now the apple, you can see this, my apple is more beautiful than the first one. Do you like this one? Eh? I'm sure the ladies will like it, even if you guys don't like it. Now, university education started in Ibadan in 1948. That 1948, the first registrar was Mr. Hunter, was a white man, and he was a very powerful registrar. The registry consisted of the Register of Affairs, Academic and Student Affairs, Establishment, Finance. What you call Ball Street today was under the registrar at that time. Are you listening to me now? There was no bursar. Finance, work services, hospitality, everything in the university was, because registrar was the head of administration. Everything that is administration that is not about teaching, it's not about curriculum, was under the registrar. So let's look at, you see,